Calhoun High is located on the outskirts of Seattle, Washington, a school with a population consisting of mostly working-class white kids. It's located near the freeway. From the Calhoun parking lot, you can hear the traffic, constant as breathing. In 1999, Seattle is a booming new rich economy, and Calhoun has recently erected a new school building, shiny and modern, with wheelchair ramps and automatic doors, a computer lab with state-of-art equipment. The building is so new it seems to have no ghosts. Walls are made of materials such that the moment graffiti is written, it can be washed away. I spent a series of mornings loitering in the Calhoun cafeteria, offering the tribes of this particular high school. Please highlight the word tribes. The smell of heat lamp food, the overhead fluorescent lights, the lunch lays and their hairnets, all of it brings up my own past in Washington High cafeteria, where I looked around furtively, trying to find my two friends, sitting on the sidelines now. I can still feel the adolescent loneliness in my guts. The cafeteria is high school's proving ground. It's one of the most unavoidable and important thresholds, the place where you find out if you have friends or if you don't. The cafeteria is the place where forms of human sacrifice occur, the merciless rituals of cruelty on which the kids thrive. Although Calhoun's new building was supposed to be big enough for all of the kids, it seems the more and more of them keep coming out of the woodwork. Because of overcrowding, lunch happens in 3 shifts, 10:30, 11:15, and noon. Kids who've drawn first lunch often don't seem very hungry. They're wiping the sleep from their eyes and panicking about forgotten homework. They drink coffee, hunched over like harried executives. All the special ed kids are assigned to first lunch. During second lunch, the pace picks up, but the luckiest kids have third lunch, the fun lunch. Each group of kids moves in and out quickly, and in the brief interludes of emptiness, custodians move through with giant brooms. Every time they migrate, the kids leave behind backpacks, notebooks, jackets, eyeglasses. If the cafeteria is the place where kids experience the most prolonged moments of relative freedom, it's also a place where they experience an unobstructed nearness. In these free moments, violence can erupt, and Calhoun has employed an armed cafeteria monitor, a nice guy in a golf shirt, with a gun tucked discreetly into his belt. As the school's ground zero, the cafeteria's tension derives from the way the kids are both in and out of school. It's a decentered environment, a place where they can make independent choices, sit where they want to sit, whisper to their friends whom they are separated from in class. Cafeteria life at Calhoun is a game of chance. Devastation comes when a kid draws the wrong lunch. One girl tells me about how she used to feel like she had friends, but then all her friends were assigned to third lunch and she was stuck in second by herself. Second lunch destiny changed her idea of herself as a girl with friends. Now she sees her crowd only after school, and there are many stories she never hears, many plans she is left out of. She tries not to be bitter when she talks to me, but she's clearly troubled that there's no way to cross over into the third lunch realm now, a realm as distant as the Emerald City. This girl hovers somewhere on the edge of a tribe. She's not a complete outcast, but she isn't popular either. She's artsy and bohemian. She possesses a complex prettiness that boys will probably notice later. Although she is clearly in a blind, struck between her friends, her loneliness is relatively manageable and escapable. Other kids operate on a deeper level of loneliness. An obese girl valiantly ignores the snickers of the boys across the aisle from her as she eats during her first lunch. A boy at second lunch has something strange muscle condition that causes him to swat the air as if he's surrounded by insects. No matter whether it's first or second or third, the popular kids always cluster around the same geographical area of the cafeteria, in the front, near the windows. The popular kids sit so close together sometimes they can barely move, smashed into 1 or 2 long tables, often reaming on the benches out of sheer will and masterful balance. This is what it means to be part of a crowd, to always have people jammed next to you on the cafeteria bench. At Calhoun, virtually all the popular kids are physically well proportioned. One girl I interview will later describe them as the kind of kids who get their way because they have perfect hair, perfect teeth, etc. Their conformity is remarkable in haircuts, necklaces, and the way they slouch, the way they use their voices. They all imitate one another because the immediate speakers of their power. In this context, conformity is not a cop-out, but a way of broadcasting the fact that you aren't a weirdo, what you are speaking in the signs of the chosen ones. The popular kids at Calhoun dress overwhelmingly in the ubiquitous trendy brand Abercrombie and Fitch. They sport the logo on the t-shirts, pants, bags, baseball hats. Calhoun is a school that emphasizes athletes, and Abercrombie and Fitch is a clothing line advertised by soccer-playing boys with the perfect tan bodies and sleek girl models with Grace Kelly class. The mystique of the brand is very East Coast, Kennedy Clan, Martha's Vineyard, prep school. In other words, it has nothing to do with the working class history of Calhoun, where most kids end up going to a local college and never grow up to drink Bloody Marys on Sundays in the Hamptons. Between the extremes of the popular kids and the loners is a vast middle region. Tribes within this region are numerous. A group of overgrown Girl Scouts called the Natural Helpers are neither popular nor outcasts. They are girls who are always busy doing charity work, committing an extreme number of good deeds. There are the theater kids who sit near the back of the cavernous space, immersed in the news of the next play, good at acting, confident, always an edge of an act about them, always making entrances and exits. There are the computer geniuses at Calhoun, all of them unwashed, disheveled boys. They never seem to look in mirrors or out the window at the natural world. The screens of the computers take their eyes away from everything. A boy carefully pops open his laptop as he devours the cafeteria's fluorescent orange nachos, careful not to drip on his keyboard. One of the most notable groups in the Calhoun cafeteria appears during third lunch, a gang of boys, huge but not athletic, class clowns, and rock and rollers. They possess a screaming, ballistic life drive, and although they seem to differ in matters of style, their formidable restlessness, their energy of trouble, holds them together. For the moment they enter the cafeteria, the man with the gun hovers around them. Even when I am sitting on the opposite end of the room, I can hear them going wild. Even in my position as an invisible extra to the drama, trying to disappear into the background, I am a little afraid of them, of where their energy might settle, of what might happen if it settles in the wrong place. This particular week has been designated Multicultural Week. It's a time when kids are encouraged to look up from their lunches and recognize the larger world. Posters advertise, "Celebrate diversity!" The Multicultural Club is putting on a round-the-world potluck. One day, a lone red-faced girl dances a Scottish jig in the cafeteria, celebrating her heritage, jumping around diligently to a scratchy tape of bagpipes. The spectacle of the girl displaying herself before everyone silences the tribes and lowers the volume of each conversation. For a moment, as she begins her strange dance, there's only a flabbergasted stillness. Some days, messengers travel from tribe to tribe, providing the webs can be formed, even if they are fragile and fleeting. One day I watch the Natural Helpers move from table to table, collecting money for the penny wars. The idea is that everyone contributes a penny. All the pennies will be given to a local homeless shelter. In the name of the penny wars, these girls reach out to each other, kids in the cafeteria, with a slightly condescending smile, with their jars held out. They cross the boundaries of the tribes. It's interesting to watch the rush of this moment, when boundaries are crossed and the lonely kids are being addressed, even if it's only a plea for pennies. The computer geek looks up in natural helplessness as if they are angels. The rowdy boys, the fat girl, the boy swatting the air, the arty girls, the pair orchestra kids, the boy with a t-shirt that says, they are all amazed that these natural helpers suddenly stand in front of them. Give a penny for the penny wars, the helper says, beaming like saints.